Francisco Shock just walks in and take the point, but they lose Violet in the process, so it's going to be tough to hold on. Keel really low, but with Super down, yeah, I don't think that Shock's going to be able to hold on to this one. We'll see. I mean, Keo did die. There's Sinatra, though, and yeah, the Hunters should be able to retake. Didn't give up a lot of percentage in the process. So Shock, well, killing after long, all right. No one really contesting this D.Va here, so I mean, that might help.
Yang Xiaolong just appearing right in the D.Va's crosshairs.
Convenient.
They're just gonna stagger this out as long as they can.
I got it.
And are coming by, picking up some shield before rolling out. And finally getting pooped off the edge of the map as the Hunters reset. Not bad though, 57%.
Xiaolong now has the EMP. It's now or never. He's going to go ahead and use it, gets 4 people with it. Rascal takes him out, though. Now the EMP comes in again. And with the sound barrier that San Francisco had, they're in a great position to finish this one off. Rascal with yet another boop onto Elsa to finish him off. Got the DMAC there. Sinatra firing into the air, but you can't take the point with the Bara 2 off in the barrage. Unsuccessful. And that'll be round number 1 going into the Shock as soon as they clean out the rest of the members of the Hunters, and they do. It's 1 point. The Shock here on Ilios.
Stay in the open ground now. They're waiting for a barrier.
A Shock take the point anyway, though. I mean, at some point, the Hunters need to get on there, and Among was poked out so much that in the end, they couldn't even stand on the point.
It was the Amp Matrix from Rascal. They were waiting for that, and that causes the additional damage that they need to pick off Among.
See what he can do on this Orisa. Elsa really low here. Yeah, Sinatra maybe a little bit of trouble, too, on the other side. It's going to be the Immortality field keeping people up right now. They finally take it out. And it's now the Hunters using that supercharger to jump onto the Shock. The Shock do have the sound barrier, though. Meanwhile, that control percent is still building. Super drops the Earth Shatter, but doesn't really hit a lot of members of the Hunter with... Choyo Bin, though, goes in. Gets 3 if you include the D.Va Magnet. That's gonna play that makes the Shock one of the best teams in the league right now. There's the or the Immortality field behind the pillar to keep them alive during the grab. They're gonna try to hold on to this one. 99%. The Shock on the verge. 2-0ing this one, and Chengdu into the pit he goes. Amon caught up in the Graviton Surge from Sinatra, and it's gonna be really hard for the Hunters to turn this one around. Sinatra a bit low, he might die. No, gets the killing just in time.
Evil Tongue with the 2 eliminations though, into the well. So all of a sudden now, Shock fighting from a player down. Wrecking Ball back in right now as Among re-emerges onto the point.
It's a lot of damage. Oh, and Moth gets caught by the self-destruct, so the Hunters are gonna get a new lease on life here. So Shock with a good amount of ultimates coming into this one. Fairly even anyway. Sinatra grab, in response to the grab coming in from Yang Xiaolong. Can't see what's going on, but there we go. Amon gets 2 with the minefield. They were trapped in the tiny room in that grab, and there was nowhere to go. The Hunters turning this one around.
There is no reason why the Shock has to use their ultimates on these last couple of pushes.
Oh, let's break it. Dance!
Sinatra down, the rally running out now. Super, no ultimate, couldn't build it in time. He's dead. It's Chengdu Hunters. Looks like they're gonna tie things up here on Ilios. Among gets knocked out by Rascal though. All right, gets a kill with the minefield on the Moth. It's a bit insane at the end, but the Hunters hold on. And we are going to round number 3, I believe.
Sinatra's here. He's standing in the Transcendence, but they catch both of them in the Graviton. That should do it.
Yeah, you need a lot more time than that to build up an EMP, and the Hunters equalize.
They run it back, 100-0. Credit to the Hunters. You see, they're going to start falling right now. Super going to take out the Zarya, though. Sinatra's going to play aggro.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Super's going to last too much longer, though. The Hunters coming back in a big way here. Amon getting aggressive here. It's really on Sinatra to kind of hold on to this point. Choyo Bin out of the mech right now.
They gotta get out of this one. Among's still here. Sinatra and Rascal, the only ones left standing. Rascal's gonna get hacked and taken down.
Super gets hacked. He can't use his Earth Shatter right now.
This top of the Hunters are running is fantastic for this point. You can see how much delay they can cause with EMP, with Graviton, with the Vine Field in these choke points.
Scrambling to turn it around, but they might drop this first map. Yeah, Sinatra down. Violet, Choyo Bin helping the Shock cling to life on this one. I don't know though. I mean, Shock, yeah, losing the Diva, losing everybody else right now. Rascal falls in the minefield, and Super's Earthshatter does deliver them the kill against Keo.
They don't have a lot of damage right now, and Super Shield is holding, so he's just gonna delay the point. Possibility they come in, Transcendence is here. Sinatra has come back on the Sombra.
All right, Violet uses that Transcendence though, and as soon as that's down, the damage is gonna start coming in. Super Shield has gotta be getting a little bit weaker here.
Shock are coming back. They're gonna have a 6 versus 5 in favor of the Shock right now.
I mean, Sinatra's got that desperation Sombra, but the EMP comes in. Once more onto Super, onto Choyobin. Among gets hacked on the other side, but there's another grab coming in for Yangjalong, and that's just a bit too much for the Shock to handle. They made it close, but in the end, it's gonna be the Hunters taking Ilios.
Impressive first win by the Hunters there.
Yeah. They're not letting the control meter go backwards at all, even when they step up. There's the amplification matrix. Oh, but Keo gets a kill onto Rascal. Choyobin out of the mech as well. And Jinmu has the barrage just for insurance purposes, but he's gonna use it right now. Why not? Keeps everybody locked in there.
And he's not gonna be using far on the next point anyway, so you might use it now.
Might as well.
As that's gonna be it. The Shock looking shockingly vulnerable here. As soon as the trance goes down, they're gonna try and use it, but
It's nobody! How in the world? How do you hit nobody with an EMP like that? Choyobin demeched anyway, but the grab comes in now. Choyobin down Sinatra, trying to turn this one around, and with a kill onto Keo from Violet, it looks like they have, but man, what a botched EMP. That's right, Jinmu does get rezzed as well, so Hunter's back into it. Moth will have the sound barrier when he comes back, but then Choyobin finding another one, man, I mean, every time. Goes Transcendence, running out. There it is, Rascal's rally. Not too helpful just yet. Sound barrier comes in for San Francisco though, and Keo is down. So they're still in this one, but with no main tank, it's gonna be kind of tricky. Only that one tick needed. Nice hack onto Choyobin.
The Reaper's out. Sinatra's here on the Reaper trying to stall this point. They're gonna try and grab him right now, but he won't die.
Yeah, well, he's dead now. I mean, it's all a matter of stalling out. Among has no health, but it doesn't matter. That's a take for the Chengdu Hunters. Among out of the way, though.
Moth on a murdering spree.
Yeah, punching people out. Get bloodthirsty there.
Oh, reload going to temporarily delay this, so they do get the healing down. Ooh, that's great. The D-Mech huge.
Yeah.
That is really important. Nano boost wasted onto Elsa during the D-Mech animation.
Oh my gosh, that is not going to help at all. Choyobin tries to go for a little bit more, but the Shock are looking like they've got it all locked up anyway.
That Elsa D-Mech was so important.
Well, the nano boost that was used on that. Almost never see something like that. Among just can't survive. There's no way to hold this one, and it's going to be an extremely good time for the San Francisco Shock. And they're down to 2 minutes remaining. Rascal down though, that's something. 65. Transcendence are getting aggressive with the support ultimates. They can use it on the San Francisco side too, but there goes Moth. Jinmu down as well. Gets nothing with the barrage. He does get res, but now the grab comes in and Super and Sinatra down anyway.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
And Hunters still looking a little bit threatening here on the point. Now the EMP comes in on the Sinatra side of things. Yangjalong down. Super firing away. Elsa D-Mech in a minefield of San Francisco's on the point now, and that should be it. Shock will hold the Hunters to just 3 points. Among down.
He was hacked on the point. Sinatra dropped down and hacked him.
Well, that's the thing. When you only have that one tank, sometimes you get those angles. Yangjalong down, and Chengdu Hunters are going to have to give up this point A pretty quick, I think.
What are they going to do? Are they going to swap off? Jinmu at least nearly has a barrage. That might be the only tool available here for the Chengdu Hunters.
Rascal, or a Super rather, falling asleep on the point, but that's okay. You can still take the point while he's sleeping. That's fine. Sinatra comes in, EMP. It's the remaining members of the Hunters. Yveltal escapes it, but you can't stop the Shock from winning the map. That's going to be San Francisco tying things up as we go into halftime. Shock trying to cling to this point here. Super taking a lot of rocket hits. They got to keep him alive. They can't. Also with the finishing blow there, and Chengdu's got the barrage. I mean, if Shock ever show their face, that'll happen. There you go. Point to illustrate it. Violet down again, and I gotta say, Shock has done a pretty good job of taking more time off the time bank than really any team should have a right to, but it's only a matter of time before the Hunters get the payload moving.
Everyone get on the objective.
Super got knocked off the edge there. Chengdu with a big whip shot. That's huge. Wow, Sinatra down as well. They're not even going to need the EMP.
No, that is massive that they're not going to need the EMP.
Not until the end of B at least.
Yeah.
Going to be one more fight at least. Rallies it.
There it is, through the window.
All right. Yep. And it's safe. Nobody caught by that one. Now the EMP comes in, and Super doesn't stand a chance. I mean, when you try to defend in such an open area, you're going to get hit with that EMP, and you're not going to find this over in time. That's going to be point B taken with a solid time bank to work with here on C, 3:30. I mean, you need to make plays. You need the sleep dart. You need the grenade. Super goes for the shatter. That gets blocked. Now the grab comes in, but people have already been earth shattered, and the EMP from Elsa on top of all of it. Super and Rascal down again. And Choyobin and Moth, the lone players from Shock for the moment on the point. Moth or Choyobin gets hacked immediately out of the mech. Sound barrier on a few members of Shock as they try to cling to it, but only a 1 meter to go, basically.
Try and grab Super onto the car. Just hold him there. Does have the adaptive shields. He's still alive.
Yeah, not for long. He's down, and that is it. 158 in the time bank.
They took advantage of staggers. They snowballed beautifully.
Whoa, here he
Violet.
comes.
And there's the immortality field, keeping him alive, and A-Bug actually the one to fall. They got drawn in.
Super close call, but they ended up keeping him alive, but now Rascal comes in, the kill on the Veltal as well. Shock tearing through this classic defense. Be careful when you're standing in front of the Road Dog, but still, you're pretty good.
I like how aggressively they played to that immortality field.
Yeah.
Following up on that hook, keeping Violet alive and running down Among.
All right, there's the amplification matrix and the shatter from Super, setting up another team fight win, and the Shock are making an incredible time.
Get his ultimate down in time. They're just going to go for it, actually.
Wow.
Aggressive sound barrier.
Yeah, no kidding, and they're going to drop the grab right on Chengdu as well. They've got their Lucius shield. How about that? What a shatter from Among. Waits forward, gets 5.
Let's take it. Damn!
Super goes in. Oh, hacked during the middle of his Earth Shatter animation, I believe. And you know what? Okay, I thought he lifted the hammer up, but it looks like not nothing had happened. He's got it again, and that's a 5-man shatter and a 4-man self-destruct. What is this point C right now? Grab coming in now in favor of the Shock, and the Hunters still trying to delay as long as they can. Now the EMP hits 3. Super gets a Zarya shield with Violet there with the Transcendence. And nobody there to stop the payload. So, no Shock there. 2 ticks taken already. Can they get back on the point? No, they can't! Able to give Veltal down. They can't even get back there to delay it. Great start for the Shock.
That was masterfully played by the Shock.
And the rest caught the grab there too. Ooh, but the shatter comes through. EMP on top of it. And Shock struggling a little bit. That payload moving for just a moment, but the Hunters coming in with all the kills. And this looks like where it's probably going to end. For Shock's overtime push, that's a 2-man shatter. Here comes the charge, and right into Moth. And Shock cannot sustain, it looks like, on the payload. So point A was taken. I'm just going to translocate over the top of them, I would imagine. Sneak in from behind. Moving doesn't even have his back right now. He gets hacked. He can't get back in. And there's the grab on top of everybody. Should be an easy point A take now. They're not going to lose anybody. could be a pretty good EMP for Elsa. All right, watching Lucy on the lower right as well. But where's the sound barrier? It comes in for the Hunters. Rascal, unable to get the benefit there. Oh boy, the Hunters, they've done it. They've won this fight, and they've won this map. They're gonna take a lead in this series as they take a victory here on Eichenwald. One more fight, we'll see if Sinatra can use that EMP. It's basically everybody on that point right now. Dragon Strike comes through, but it's only a bit of a delay. All right, that's okay. So you've been with the self-destruct just to create a little bit of space. Also out of the mech, and it's about time for the Hunters to give up point A. Yeah, that's about it. So at the end of the day, they slowed the shock down, but not as much as I think you would have wanted to.
No.
Young Long close to another EMP. They might have another fight. Wait if they can land a good ultimate here. Slam comes in. Kyo down Violet. Always finding those big picks on the Zenyatta. Such a specialist at getting those long range picks. Elsa manages to avoid the self-destruct. Gets demec'd anyway though. Getting hit a couple times, but should be okay. Here comes the EMP. It's only Among and Jinmu though, but Among down, so it is successful. Gets the main tank anyway. They lose Rascal in the process. Choyabin's got that self-destruct, and right now the Hunter's just trying to hold on. 4-man EMP as they take out Violet right away. Choyabin should be getting demec'd. Here he is. And also with enough damage that they should be able to push the shock off the payload for now, and we're down to just 40 seconds remaining for San Francisco. Now the sound barrier comes in for the Hunters. Big hack though, back onto the shock again, and nothing to stop that Earth Shatter from coming in from Among. And that is where the payload will stop for San Francisco. They don't get it done, and the door is open now.
The immortality field can be cleared by EMP.
You get hacked too.
You don't have to stun.
Then sometimes you just shoot people through the amplification matrix.
Sometimes you get a flank with the amp matrix and you just shut them down, yes.
There you go. Smooth triple kill for Rascal. Super separated from the rest of his team. Gets his Zarya shield just in time. I feel like they had to use a grab just to keep Super alive, but now the Shatter comes in. That is the kind of play the Shock needed. Now it's starting to get a little bit worrisome for the Hunters. They have not made much progress here on point A yet. Got left behind, and that's an easy kill for Shock. And I think the Hunters might get held right here.
Looks increasingly likely. Graviton search here for Sinatra, but he's going to get stunned.
Well, Among with like the 50-foot drop and Shatter, man. He got knocked way up in the air during the animation. And Shock may not have been expecting him to come down with that. Grab used, and Rascal again with 2 kills. Firing through that amplification matrix, making another 3K. Absolutely insane. He's gonna get another one. Yep, that's a 4K for Rascal on the Batista. Finish it up, and that's it. What a way to end that map, and what a way to send us to a map 5. Here comes Sinatra, and there's an EMP on the 4 members of the Hunters. Beltall trying to remain inconspicuous in the corner, but not being successful. Oh, Jinmu sends a rocket Sinatra's way. Super, he's going airborne, going after the Pharah, he's chasing. He wants Shades of Miro. Here he comes. He's pushing for another one. That's right, and oh, he gets the kill. Watch out for the cars. Woo! It's close. Somewhere Miro is just slow clapping. He's like, my man.
Meanwhile, on the point, Young Long kills everybody with Packmiser, so.
On to Shock, Elsa down though. And Violet, or Yveltal, no, it is Violet. Taking out Young Long in the end, scraping him with those long fingernails. It's not look comfortable. Looks like Shock trying to take the point back, but another barrage coming in, and Moth down.
And it's a 3 versus 3,
What
Toa.
is this?
But now Among is still here, and the percent is still ticking up. It's a 4 versus 2 on the point, but here comes Super with Primal Rage.
Oh, and here comes Young Long on the Doom Fist. Violet down. And it's still, at the end of the day, the control percent building, and Super in traffic!
Rocket barrage incoming.
Oh boy, looks like now this is going to be it for Chengdu. They fought valiantly, but Sinatra's there. Everybody EMP. Shoyobin!
Shoyobin following up on the EMP with the self-destruct, and I don't think anybody's getting there to contest this one. 98-99, A-Monk barely gets their attack, taken down immediately. Elsa tries his luck to keep things alive, and Doofus comes in, and then exits very quickly. That should be about it for the first point here. What an insane barroom brawl that was. But the
Apagando las luces.
all right. And Chengdu doesn't have anyone on the point to start that control meter building. A lot of damage going through that hallway, and Moth, the first victim there. Man, they're just throwing everything they've got down the hallway, and Shock unable to handle that one. Goodbye, Super. He's got the Zarya shield, but he's not going to last much longer. A-Monk with an easy kill there, and
Mid.
Nano boost now onto Yang Xiaolong. He's going to be building that Graviton pretty darn quick. Sinatra's going to drop the grab.
yeah, Sinatra doing a lot of damage here too. Yang Xiaolong down, who somehow manages to avoid the charge. Super and Violet down, and the Hunters, Rascal, unless he's going to 1v3 here, along with Moth, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Jinmu back on the Doomfist again.
All right, they've got 3 players on the point. Each team right now, can they hit some good shots here with the Doomfist? Jinmu solo has to back off.
He might as well be dead, man. He's out of the fight either way. Shock nearly have it flipped, and it looks like they will get the job done here. Yeah, they get the point flipped. The bar fading, and there's not a lot of players from the Shock left on this one. Sinatra goes down to the grab. Yveltal with the final blow there. Rascal comes in with the rally. No kills for Shoyobin this time. And it looks like they've got this wrapped up. Shock trying to hold on, but I think that's going to be it for this round. I think the Hunters are going to tie up Oasis. They will.
Oh boy, no, it's coming down to the last point on Oasis.
Apagando las luces. Initiating.
No, not quite. Jinmu down instead. They dove in onto that Diva. Finally get the D-Mech now, but is it too late? A-Monk narrowly avoids falling into the pit here. Shatter for A-Monk gets blocked completely. Gets him by the shield dash. He's into the pit now. Shoyobin down. Yo uses that nano boost. But Shock, despite that EMP, Super swinging, but Yang Xiaolong barely had enough health to live. He had the shield and he got the kills through his grab. Wow, so many tight fights happening here.
Apagando las luces. Огонь по готовности. Get in there.
Is it gonna get used? He's going for it. He finds A-Monk. Super with a big play for San Francisco here. Gets a 65, narrowly avoids again, falling into the pit. And San Francisco holding on there. And Super down. They lost Jinmu too. Oh man. Kills coming out on both sides. Shoyobin so low, but Sinatra, the one who's going to be doing tons of damage here. But Violet caught by the Earth Shatter, and Sinatra down. Elsa finds the kill, and the Hunters will flip it back.
A-Monk alive somehow with no HP.
See, it's going to be the EMP. Oh, they caught Violet. They caught Violet in the EMP. Elsa, the hero, gets him. It's 99%, and they're going to be able to flip it back. Rascal getting hacked here. You can see Elsa just desperate to try to do it. And can they deny Elsa? Can they deny the Shock? Here comes Shoyobin and Moth. Everybody doing what they can. Self-destruct. The shields are there, though. Rascal down. Can they finish off Shoyobin? They couldn't before he got in his mech again. And now he's got the Zarya shield. That said, the grab coming in. And they're all trapped on the point. Can they get there? Can they get back on? They can, but the sound barrier is there. The Hunters, I think they're might have done it.
They're
they might have done it. Might have, we'll see. There we go, overtime ticking. And the Hunters, they get the kill, and they will be the second team to take down the Shock. We gotta crown our player of the match. Brought to you by Omen by HP. Who else could it be but the one, the only Among? That's right. Stellar day on the Reinhardt. Incredible day as usual on the Wrecking Ball as well. Look at this, man. Look at that Earth Shatter, and that resulted in a 6K. I mean, I know Choyobin's mini D.Va form is taken out by somebody else. I don't count that. He killed the mech. That's the real thing.
That is the real thing. And
Yeah, that's the real D.Va.
I also think Keo had a really good day today. So
Definitely did.
I think a bit hard, but Amon coming out, showing that when he peaks on Reinhardt, he can peak very hard.
I think like transcending the Yotta chat as it does to use the infinite chat now, basically.